LeBron was 23. Then the jersey numbers are quantitative data. They're numbers. But let's say like the teams, like the Warriors or the Lakers, that's qualitative. That's a category. So those are the two types of data. So you should know that might come up. All right, moving on to the graphs. You're going to see 4 different graphs. The pie chart, the scatter plot, and the histogram, and the box and whisker plot. All right, starting off with pie chart. You guys should be familiar with this.
Wait,
It's
Aro, give me a second.
all right.
Okay.
All right. You guys should be familiar with pie charts. They literally look like pies, a circle, and then you're going to be given like variables, like let's say board game or like some like your favorite board game. Let's say Monopoly, Jenga, chess, whatever. And then you're going to be given percentages, and based on the percentages, that's how big the slices of the pie is going to be. Yeah, like how
No.
Vishnu is drawing it. That should be what a pie slice looks like, or a pie chart. All right, moving on. A scatter plot. A scatter plot is similar to similar to like a line graph, but with dots instead of full like linear line. So let's say it's like let's say years and then let's say height. So the years is gonna always gonna be years is continuous or constant. So it's gonna be like let's say 0 to like 10, and then height.
This graph is not accurate, by the way. Just doing for a sketch.
Let's say you start off at like 5 foot and 0 when you're born, and basically what a scatter plot is, it shows the data, but it's not. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, or it's not even a curve. It's just dots as the x coordinate increases. All right, so say you're 5 foot at 0. So can you draw a dot or something at 5 foot?
I did.
Okay. And let's say at 1 you shrink to 4 foot. And then you hit a growth spurt at 2, and then you go up to, let's say you go up to 6 foot. So as you can see, it's like it doesn't have to follow a trend. It's just a scatter plot. That's where the name comes from, a scatter plot. If you keep going, you'll find like 7 foot, and then you might shrink again, like 5 foot or whatever. So that's what a scatter plot is. And then moving on, a histogram. This is similar to like, as you should be familiar with a bar graph. So it's the same format, like same graph format, x and y axis. But instead of dots, let's go same analogy, height and years. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for years. Continuous. And the years, it doesn't have to be quantitative data. The variables don't have to be quantitative. It could be like quality as well. It could be, let's say it could be like male and female. That's a category. All right, for years, same thing. You make a line like we should draw 1, 2, like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, make the boxes for like make 1 0 to 1 5 foot. Draw a box. Let's say 1 to 2 is 4 foot.
Or are you on your iPad right now or something? I think if we share a whiteboard, it could be easier for this to work.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure how to do that.
All right.
Vishnu, do you know
You
how
want
to
me
do
to
it?
share? You want me to share my
I think
screen?
I was able to share a whiteboard here.
Okay. All right. So let's make what? Okay. You guys, can we chill?
I think we should just go back. Yes, if you guys want to stop drawing.
All right. Well, let me try to share a whiteboard without that.
Or if you want me to draw since I have a pencil, I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can draw. Wait, is there a way to make it so only the host can draw? Or only host can draw?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find it. Wait, I
Wait,
guess you could go back to the other thing while I figure this out.
yeah.
Oh wait, we need to shut this. We need to turn this. We need to like turn off the whiteboard. I can't share my screen.
Okay. Let me stop this.
Okay, all right, if you want to continue.
All right. Moving on. 2 to 3. Let's just put random. Like 2 to 3 is 6 foot. 3 to 4 is also 6 foot, let's say. All right. So that's basically a histogram. It's similar to a bar graph. I'd say it is a bar graph with x and y axis, and then visual like boxes to show the quantities. All right, moving on, the box and whisker plot. These are slightly different. So you need to know 5 things when you're analyzing this. So there's in a set of numbers, you're gonna be given. Let's say, all right, Vishnu, can you put for the numbers? Can you put like, let's say, 2, 5, 7, 8, 12, 14, 18, 21, 25. All right. So you need to know the minimum, maximum, median, lower half, which is like the 25th percentile, also known as the quartile 1, and then the upper half, the quartile third, like the 75th percentile. All right. So the minimum, you should, as you look at the numbers, you should know that's just 2. Then maximum is 25. Yep. And then Q1. Wait, no. Let's go
Okay,
to
I
let's do
think
median first.
yeah.
Median. You guys should know how to do the median. Yeah, you just cross out from the smallest and then cross out the largest, and then you move on inward like that. So you find the median's 12. Okay. All right.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Okay, there's 9 numbers. So the 20 to calculate the 25th quartile, it's going to be it's the 8, it's these 4 numbers, right? And then you take the middle two, the sum of the middle two, and you divide by 2.
so 5 plus 7 over 2 is 12 over 2. Should
That
equal
should be
6.
6. So that's quartile 1.
And
And
Q3 is equal to
Q3 is, it should be calculated the same way. 18 plus 21.
Uh,
19.5. That's the quartile 3. Okay. Once you have the this data, to make a box and whisker plot, you start off with the min. It'd be
Oh,
good if I could draw this.
what
okay.
happened?
What happened?
I don't know.
I think the screen share might have turned off.
Wait, R. I think there's a way you can draw it. Like, if you look on the left, there should be like a whiteboard feature, like ability to write or something.
Really? Um, Quartile 2 is just the median. That's the 50th percentile.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure how I can draw this.
Okay.
Anyways, it is not a line graph. So erase that.
Wait.
Okay, so a box in whisker plot, it's kind of similar to the name. So it's just a box and then 2 lines protruding. I should can
So
draw that. It's a rectangle. Yep, perfect. And then draw a line in the middle through the box. All right. So from here, as you can see, on the extreme left, that indicates the minimum value. So in our data, that's 2. And then the far right, that's the maximum value. And in our data, that's 25. And moving on. Yep. The left side of the box is always the 25th percentile or
one.
quartile 1. And yep, quartile 3. And then the median's always in the middle of the box. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle, but based on the data, it can be closer to the left or closer to the right, but it's always going to be just the median. So that's a what's it called? Box and whisker plot. All right. Vishnu, you can.
Oh, we're not going over probability.
Yeah.
Are you not doing
Hey,
probability?
Vishnu, I sent you like a problem. Can you please like go over that? Possible.
Wait, let me open this up. Let me write this down for everybody. Okay. I think this is on the mock test. So the mock test today's. So
Yeah, I
and
believe that
then
is on today's assignment. So we will go over that soon, but I like that you're working ahead here.
This was like a problem I found from 501 quantitative comparison questions.
wait,
Okay.
what are you exactly? Are you asking for quartile 1, quartile 3, and
Uh,
median?
no, it's like the UMTYMP style question below column A and column B.
Which one's bigger?
Yeah.
We can go over that a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Sure.
because I think that exact same problem will be on this assignment here. So, all right, everyone. So if you guys can navigate to Google Classroom, I posted an assignment called Graphical Analysis, Visualization, and Figures. So in that assignment, there should be there should be a PDF attached. It's called Extra Umptium Prep Worksheet.pdf. And it has 23 questions. And they're all umpteen style questions, but they all have figures. So they include anything that could use a figure or a graph as a question. So there's geometry, statistics, different types of graphs that RF just went over. So if everyone can navigate their way over there, we're going to just have you guys take this mini test. So we'll have 12 minutes. It has 23. It does say it has 25, but it has 23. In reality, for some reason, two questions are missing. But anyway, since it's 23 questions, we'll have 12 minutes instead of our usual time because it's half the amount of questions. So there's no Scantron for this. So just keep your answers written down somewhere on your own paper, and then we'll go over the questions so you can check your work during that time. So the assignment is called graphical analysis, visualization, and figures, I believe. No, it's called graphical analysis, visualization, and shapes worksheet. It's the latest assignment in the classwork tab.
Yep.
Okay. So here, let's wait. I'm just see how you guys thought about the test. Mid, fine. Okay. Do you guys think it was easier than the other tests we've taken? Were you guys more comfortable on time?
Do you
Okay.
guys have any big questions about this?
Yeah, wait. Are there any like questions like are there any specific problems on this that you guys want to go over immediately?
All right, let's just go through it bit by bit then.
Okay. So for
So,
question number one, since this is a vertical angle, like Tanaf said, B here would be 80 degrees, and then so this would be equal. Um, okay. So this one's kind of long. This one's on 2 pages. Okay. The measure of angle one, and the measure of angle three. These are also vertical angles, so this would be C. The measure of angle one and the measure of angle five. This is I'm pretty sure it's like parallel. I forgot the term for it, but these would be equal. Uh, the measure of angle 7 and the measure of angle 5 is again vertical angle, so it would be equal. And the sum of the angles of 6 and 7. Okay, wait, I should erase these. Of 6 and 7, and then 1 and 2. Well, can you go over circumference? Do you remember which exactly question circumference was?
we'll get to every single question, so we
Yeah,
will get there eventually.
yeah. Okay. Sum of the measure of angle 67. Um, I'm pretty sure these would both be 180 degrees. But like,
Yep, they are. They're both straight angles since they sum up to
yeah.
be the entire straight line.
Okay. The measure of angle 2, the measure of angle 8. Uh, we actually don't have
Th
like a
Those are
quantity
also
for either.
equal.
Yeah.
So if you notice on the graph, angle 2 is the same as angle 6 because of the parallel lines. And then angle 6 and angle 8 are the same because of vertical angles. So angle 2 and angle 8 are the same.
Okay.
Okay.
The
Uh,
measure of angle 1 is 100 degrees. Okay. So 1 is equal to 100. Wait, not 100%. 100 degrees. 75 degrees in the measure of angle 8. Since the measure of angle 8 is a parallel line, so angle 1 and angle 8 would be the same. That means that,
No, no, no.
where
Hold
is
up.
it?
Angle 1 and angle 8. Oh, wait, can you go up again?
Yeah.
So angle 1 is the same as angle 5. So 5 is 100 degrees. So
Oh shit, wait.
180 minus 100. So 8 is 80 degrees.
Oh wait. I messed that one up. Sorry, guys. Okay.
So it should be B.
Okay. I don't know why I
I
messed
can
that one
explain
up.
this one. So, wait, am I able to annotate? Um, it's okay. I can just share my own screen. So let me just share this. So we are on question 8. Let me zoom in here. All right. So for question 8, we're asked the measure of angle x or the measure of angle y. So again, these are parallel lines. Parallel lines as indicated by these two lines right here. So we see that angle y and angle x will be the same because of the transverse cutting through the parallel lines. So question 9, we have x plus z. So x plus z here is 180 degrees. Y plus z is also 180 degrees because x equals y here. Angle x equals angle y here. So this is also c. All right, for figure 5, we got to use this to answer problems 10 to 12. So the measure of AEB is 85 degrees as given. So we know this is 85 degrees. And measure of BCD. So we have to find what that is. So we have here BCD is a triangle. So we know that the angles in this triangle, which I'll mark over here, have to add up to 180. So we know the other two angles. The other two angles are 75 and 20. So that means this angle right here, which is BCD, has to be 180 minus 75 minus 20. And this should be 75, I believe. Yes. No, this is 85. Wait, yes, I think this is 85. It'll be 160 minus 75. Yes, it's 85. Sorry, I'm doing this very slow right now. All right, so since they're both 85, the answer is C. Now for number 11, the area of ABE, the area of this triangle, and the area of BCD. So let's see here. What does this 1 mean right here? 1 and this is 2. Okay, so judging by this picture, this should be D because we are not given any information on the sides of the triangle. We're only given the angles. So this figure can look deceiving because it's not drawn to scale. So always remember that if the shape is not drawn to scale, you can't just look at it to see which is bigger. So yeah, so this should be D because we are not giving any side lengths. We are only given angles. Now for 12, the measure of ABE is this angle right here, which is marked 1, and 75 degrees. Well, again, these are vertical angles, so this answer is C. For question 13, the length of TS, or 7, so we have to find the length of TS. Notice that we have a right triangle here, so we can apply the Pythagorean theorem. So this squared plus TS squared will equal 10 squared, so let's write that out. And I'll use X here to represent TS. So we're going to have this. So this is 36 plus X squared equals 100. So X squared will equal 64. So X is 8. So this is A. 13 is A. Now the area of RST, or 24. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And since we have RT and TS, which we just found to be 8, we can find the area. So it's 1/2 times 6 times 8. And this will be 24, so the answer is C. So now for question 15 here. One sec, I just got a question in the chat. Someone said, what is a Pythagorean triplet? I think we will be getting there. I believe that's one of the later questions, right? But I can just explain it quickly now since we just did the Pythagorean theorem. So a Pythagorean triplet is a set of 3 numbers that satisfy the Pythagorean theorem. So 6, 8, 10 is a Pythagorean triplet. And 3, 4, 5 is also a Pythagorean triplet. And so is 5, 12, 13, because all those numbers satisfy the Pythagorean theorem if they were the side lengths of a right triangle. All right. Oopsies. All right, so let's go back here. So now we want to find the length of arc ABC. So this one is a little trickier. So in this figure, all we're given is that this is a circle and O is the center. We're not giving any lengths. They give us the lengths in the problem specifically. So for question 15, we know the length of the circumference is 20 and the measure of angle X is 45 degrees. So to find the length of the arc ABC, what we do here is we take what fraction of the circumference the arc is a part of. So how do we find the fraction that this arc is a part of to the whole circumference? Well, we use the angle here. So all we have to do is do 45 degrees divided by 360 degrees, because 360 degrees is the whole turn, multiplied by the circumference, which is 20. And this turns out to be 1/8 divided by 20. And this is greater than 2, right? Because 2 is 16 over 8. So we know that the answer must be A. So I'll say this is greater than 2. What was 13 and 14? A and C. Okay, so for 16, now the question changes. We use the same figure, but the question changes. So don't get confused that this, like you might get confused thinking that this gives you the length of ABC, but that's not true, correct, because these are different problems. So they'll obviously have different questions. All they share is this figure, but remember, this figure doesn't have any numbers on it. So we can't quote unquote cheat here by just looking at this, because we will see that these two will give us different results. So now we assume that the length of the arc is 2 centimeters. So this is 2. And we're given the same angle, and now we want to find the circumference of the circle. So all we have to do is reverse this process. So if the length of this arc is 2, that means 2 will equal 45 degrees divided by 360 degrees. That's kind of bad, 360. It's also a bad one. 360 times the circumference, which I'll call x, and we solve this equation. So again, 45 over 360 is 1/8. So that means that x will be 16, solving this equation. So for 16, the answer is A. So I hope that didn't trick too many people. Now, for question 17, we're given the volume, we want to find the volume of the sphere, or this quantity right here. So remember, the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. And here, r is 5. So let's just plug 5 in. So if we plug 5 in, we'll have 4/3 pi times 5 cubed. And this will be 4/3 times pi times 125. Now, 4 times 125 is 500. So we'll have 500 pi over 3. So the answer is C. For 18, now we want to find the surface area. So remember, the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So we just plug in our 5 here, and we get 4 pi times 5 squared. And this is 100 pi. So 101 pi is bigger, obviously, so the answer is B. Now we have the distribution for Brown High School. And this is a pie chart. So hopefully you guys paid attention to our lectures so we can easily solve this problem. So for question 19, we want to find the number of freshmen, or 22. So we see freshman is this right here, this gray area, and 22% of the freshmen are, sorry, yeah, 22% of the students are freshmen. But remember, this is 22%. It's not an actual number. We don't know the total amount of students in Brown High School, so we don't know the number of freshmen. So this means the answer is D. Because let's say if we had 100 students, then we would have 22% times 100, which is 22 freshmen. But if we only had 50 students, we would have 11 freshmen. So the answer is D. So for 20, now it tells us that there are 400 total students enrolled in Brown High School. So now we can find the number of people because we have the total amount. So the number of seniors, first we find the percentage. So seniors is this light gray over here. So we have 29% of seniors. So that means we have 29% times 400 seniors. And if we go through and calculate that, this is a little bit harder to do. So let's do that. So percent is 1 over 100. So we can cancel these two out. And now we have 29 times 4. If we do 29 times 4, we'll notice that that is 116, which is less than 120. So the answer is B. And a fast way to do 29 times 4 is to do 4 times 30 minus 4, right? And this is 120 minus 4, which is 116. So this is a fast way to do it. You could also notice that 120 is 4 times 30, and over here we have 4 times 29, so the answer is B. So some tricks like this to do arithmetic fast will save you a lot of time. Now with 21, we want to find the difference between the quantity of freshmen and sophomores and the difference between the quantity of juniors and seniors. So let's see. So remember, for question 21, there are no longer 400 total students. This information is only for this question. So for 21, we're not given the total amount of students, but that actually doesn't matter. So the difference between freshmen and sophomores is freshman is this, which is 22. Sophomores is 24. So that's 2%, right? And for here, juniors and seniors, juniors is 25, seniors is 29. That's 4%. So 4% is always bigger than 2%. And since they're from the same total quantity, whatever our quantity is, whether it's 100, 200, 5, 10, uh, we'll always have more juniors. We'll always have a bigger difference between juniors and seniors based on these percentages. So the answer is B. Okay, so now for the last two questions, we want to find quartile 1 versus quartile 3. So using this figure, remember that, oopsies, I zoomed in too much there. So the left side of the box is quartile 1. The right side of the box is quartile 3. Just by looking at it, we see that quartile 3 is bigger than quartile 1. And for 23, the median is in the middle of the box. So just looking at it again, we know the answer is A, quartile 3 is bigger than the median. So that is the test. So how did you guys do? Does everything make sense now? I see someone wants to go over 15. Yes, I can go over 15 again. So, yes, you can unmute if you want. Are you not able to unmute? Um, let me. Okay, try now.
Oh yeah, it's letting me. For I went into the 500 quantitative comparison question and I was doing the same exact question for the bar and whisker plot. But if I scroll down to the answer key for the last question, it says it's D. I don't know why.
For 23.
Yeah, for 23, that one second, one second. It says so that's 43 and 435. Okay, let me go to that.
Well, the answer should be A. I don't, maybe the questions aren't exactly the same because
No,
at least,
it's exactly the same, but for it says the answer cannot be determined. The median may be 17 or 18, which would make it less than or equal to quartile 3.
oh, let's see this here. So the median could be 17 or 18. That, I guess that is true. This is kind of hard to see though. Yeah, that is true because if we look at this I think this edge of the box slightly goes over that line, which um makes it unknown. So yeah, I think that's actually a good catch, but that is kind of hard to see because I have to zoom in all the way here and we see that this line's I think slightly goes to the right of that.
Okay, so wouldn't that be D?
Um, yes, it would be. It would be D.
Yay.
But
Thank
since
you.
that's like very hard to see, A is fi totally fine.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yep. And the reason why it's D is because if it's over, that means that um the median is anywhere in the middle of the box, right? So it could be more to the right of the box or more to the left of the box. But since this is unknown and this is the greatest precision we have, we don't know exactly where the median lies. So it could be more to the right or more to the left. So if it's more to the right, then it'll be 18. If it's more to the left, it'll be 17, which means
Yeah,
it's D.
and
But this is very hard to see.
in general for like the 22, it would be quartile 1 or quartile 3. So you don't know if it's like quartile 1 17 and quartile 3 is 18. So either way, B would be greater. So yeah, you can't assume it.
What? What'd you say?
So I said for 22, quartile 3 is always going to be greater than quartile 1. So you can't assume that some quartile 3 is 18 and quartile 1 17. So that's why the reason it would be D.
For 22?
No, for 23.
Oh, well, quartile one isn't in 23. All
No,
right,
I'm
any
just talking
it
about in general, but it's fine, it's
okay.
fine.
Yeah,
Thank you though.
okay. This is yeah, thank you for the clarification there. That is pretty hard to see, so if we're just gonna accept B and A to be the right answers for this. On the real exam, it'll be a lot more clear. So, but yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, no problem.
So now that we all went over these questions, I hope that you guys thought it was good. If it wasn't good, I hope you guys found which types of questions were hard, so then you guys can work on it. So, oh yeah, I forgot to go over 15. Let's do that. So if you guys want me to go over any questions again, just put in the chat and I'll do it. So 15 and 12, I see. So for 15, I'll just erase all of this. So we're given the circumference of the circle is 20 centimeters, and we want to find the length of this arc right here, which I'm highlighting in blue. So to find the length of the arc, we need to find the fraction of the circle it occupies. So how do we find the fraction of the circle it occupies? Well, luckily we're given the length of angle x, or the measurement of angle x, to be 45 degrees. And we know that the whole circle is 360. So we can actually find the fraction of the circle that this arc is. And that is just 45 degrees divided by 360. So that's the fraction. And then obviously, once we get the fraction, we multiply by the length of the circumference, which is 20 centimeters. And solving this is 1/8 times 20. And this is greater than 16 over 20, which is 2. So the answer is A. All right. Now, someone asked me to go over question 12. So question 12 here is using this. Okay. So the measure of ABE is this angle right here. I'm just going to circle it. That's a lot of circling, but it's this angle right here. If I arc it and 75 degrees, well, um, we know that angle ABE is 75 degrees because it's a vertical angle with this angle right here, which is also 75 degrees. So do you kind of see that? So these two angles are equal because of vertical angles. So that means this is also 75 degrees, which means that it's the answer is C here. Oh, I got 21. So for 21, the answer is B. Um, I'm not sure if someone's confused on that, but um, I can go over it again. So we found the differences in the percentages. So just looking at the graph, we found the difference between the freshmen and sophomores is 2%. The difference between juniors and seniors is 4%. So just using this pie chart here. And since these percentages come from the same like bigger number, we can directly compare percentages, and 4% is greater than 2%. So the answer is B. So even though in the question it says quantity and we're not given quantity, that's fine because percentages will suffice for this. And that is only because these two have the same quantity. All right.